It's coming faster. Unchallenged. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Right now, close your eyes. Protein. Open your eyes. What came to mind?
Good afternoon, leaders of elsewhere. We are here to propose and encourage a switch from fossil fuels to renewable energy.
Tell us what complexity you created and how it's used in our everyday lives.
So I am Fluorine Man.
And I am Magnesium Girl.
So together we make magnesium fluorine.
Michael Gerber's students cover a lot of material. 7th graders are analyzing nutritional intakes to create an ideal school lunch. 8th graders are trying to convince an imaginary town to adopt renewable energy. 6th graders are doing experiments to understand asteroid impacts, and 5th graders are learning how elements combine to create chemical compounds. Sounds like health, government, astronomy, and chemistry, right? Actually, it's history. Big history.
So we look at history through 13.8 billion years. And big history essentially is a history course, but there's a twist. It's a history course through the lens of science. And what I mean by that is it's multidiscipline, where we approach it with different insights through historical and scientific approaches, where then the students are able to create this one long, beautiful, coherent story where they're able to understand people, civilizations, and how everything around us is connected. Yesterday, I had you go back and look at your nutrition, your daily diet. This course was designed by a gentleman named David Christian, who taught it at collegiate level, and Bill Gates happened to stumble upon this course, and he thought to himself, wow, this course is amazing. He approached David Christian to say, hey, could you implement this at a public high school level? And so they tackled it. Look up there, 9 to 13, male to female. Look down. 7th grade, we just finished a project called Feed the World. And in that project, students have to figure out historical trends of different conditions that support the earth, such as population growth, food production, and then they have to figure out at what point can the earth stop supporting us as humans if we continue on this rate. And that's quite mind-blowing. So we talk about, the advent of agriculture, how it was such a turning point in mankind's history, and then we took it to that next step, which we talked about of, okay, agriculture got us to this point. How's it going to look 100 years from now? And that's very personal because it's their lives. Now that you understand your daily consumption, your nutrition, I want you to look back at your ancestors. They had to create a daily diet of themselves and go through the carbohydrates, the proteins, the fats, and what they're going to do is now they're going to analyze with hunter-gatherers as well as early farmers. Look at early foragers. What are they eating?
Lots of... This is fruit, root vegetables, grubs,
They're
bugs,
eating a lot
Grubs
of
and
different
bugs?
meats.
which have more protein than meat.
Fats. A forager, how many grams of fat does a forager have?
34.
They consume about 34 grams. And now what's the trend or pattern?
It's going up.
It is increasing
And
for
mine
sure.
is 102 fats. So ours has increased tremendously.
What's different? What's the same? What stands out to you? And at the end of this, the students are really going to get a bigger perspective of, do I have to change my eating habits? And do others have to change their eating habits? Remember when we started off this unit? I had you guys create or think of the best school lunch ever? You guys like barbecue ribs with pizza. And you made it very, very delicious, which was the prompt. But now, you're going to do this again. This time, you're going to take everything that you've learned, what's delicious as well as what's nutritious. One school lunch for every kid in the nation every day. Will we one day have to revert back? Is that such a horrible thing? Is it a great thing? Will we continue on this rise of complexity? Now, you're gonna have to give them more than chicken,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Let's make this balanced.
So you just have to make it 850 calories.
Oh, wait, we can use the food tracker.
You have to make sure you don't go over the limits.
I'm only getting protein.
I got orange juice.
You have history blending with biology, for example, with the life unit, or chemistry with the element unit. It's a class where it's not, you don't walk in and go, oh, this is science class or this is history class. This is kind of a life. This is a class about learning.
Since it was designed for high schoolers, Gerber's original plan was to teach big history to the 7th and 8th graders in the Gifted and Talented program. However, the idea was so well received, he was asked to expand it to include 5th and 6th grades.
And this course was a way to take not only the content being high school, but the content of all these amazingly deep conceptual thinking approaches and offer this to our 7th and 8th graders. But at the 5th, 6th grade level, we do have to do a lot more modification, but keep the major ideas in place.
Even though students have to sacrifice their study hall to take big history, there's more demand than available spaces. Something Gerber attributes to the course's focus on curiosity, critical thinking, and fun.
I want them to take away the bigger picture of who they are, their purpose, perspective on life, how to treat others, how to solve problems, and to try to open their minds up that, it's bigger than yourself. It's bigger than the person next to you. It's bigger than all the plants and animals out there. It's huge. It's universal. It's big history.
Make your predictions. Go.